So I'm here with Daniel Grixty from ICPM. So Daniel, obviously if I have a property, I want to get the maximum rent possible. What's the process to go about deciding on rent, and how often are rents reviewed?
Yeah, so rent reviews are part of the lease. You can include them into a 6-monthly period or a 12-monthly period. Most leases with the tenant go for 12 months. Okay, that's the average lease. So it's really important that your agent has a process for dealing with that end of lease. So for us, it combines the rent review process. So at 10 months during a 12-month lease, for example, we review the rent. We look at comparable properties, see what the market's done. We then contact the landlord and explain, look, your lease will end in 2 months. Here's what we think we can get as your rental value. Hopefully it's an increase. We then communicate that to the tenant and negotiate a new lease. Hopefully another 12-month lease is signed and the rent has gone up. Hopefully it's gone up a little bit. That's the general process. What the real problem is with most companies is they let it go to 12 months and then they may act on a rent review. At that point, if the negotiation falls over with the tenant and they don't stay on, you're already vacant. So you don't want to wait till 12 months or 11 months because then you run out of time. So it needs to be 10 months. At the 10-month period, you prepare all of the information. If the tenant doesn't agree with the rent review, well, either you don't put the rent up and you agree on that, or you start advertising prior to the lease ending and you reduce that vacancy once again. You've got to keep vacancy low. That process, if it's done well, will ensure that your rental property increases in value over time. And you know, a flip side of that is if you don't do any of that process, and a lot of companies don't, unfortunately, you end up with what's called a month-by-month lease. So at the end of 12 months, if you do nothing, you go to a month-by-month lease. The risk of a month-by-month is the tenant can give notice to leave at any stage, and they only need to give 4 weeks notice. Okay, and then you'll be liable for re-advertising costs and potentially long vacancies. That's why you always want to have a 12-month lease at least, unless there's some special circumstances. That way, if the tenant wants to move, they have to either abide by the full lease or they have to pay the releasing fees that a company will charge, and they also have to continue paying rent until they move out. So important to get this right, guys.
So if someone has a property manager now and they're not happy with the way that they review rent, how can they go about contacting ICPM?
Yeah, so go onto our website at www.icpm.com.au. Read through some of the information. I think there might be some stuff on there about rent reviews, and give our team a call. We're always happy to have a chat. Whatever we can do to help with advice, or if you want to become one of our clients, that'd be great as well.